Yes, you read that right. This is not hyperbole. Men have been pushed too far. We are not safe anymore. And Dapper Dev, want to give a shout out to him. He put out a great video on Father's Day, and I want to go through this video with a fine-tooth comb because it's really good video. You need to pay attention, okay? All men need to watch this. So let's get into it.
Start this video off telling you guys a story about a good childhood friend of mine. And keep in mind, as I tell this story, I'm a millennial. My friend's a little bit older than me. He's a millennial as well. And when we were coming up, the mainstream conversations that you see on YouTube in the manosphere, red pill stuff, that was not yet a thing when we were teenagers and when we were coming up. So we didn't have the knowledge that is very mainstream now.
Right, and I think he's at the tail end. I'm an elder millennial, is what it's called, and we did not have anything that is available now to young men. We were flying blind. We were going off of the roadmap that our boomer parents gave us, and it was the wrong map. And then also the one that Hollywood gave us.
Keep that in mind as you hear this story. And my friend's ignorance got him into a lot of trouble. So this good friend of mine ended up getting married and having a child. The wife cheated on him. They got divorced, and he got stuck with very heavy child support payments. He made good money, so whatever, right? Fair enough. That's how it works. Now, his train of thought was, I put myself in this situation. I'm going to step up to the plate and be a man, and I got to pay these heavy payments. So be it. All I got to do is work harder. I got to take the high road and get another job and try to pick up overtime. And if I want to have more money to spend or put away and save, I just got to step up to the plate and work harder.
Right. So, and the flaw in that thinking is that when you do that, you end up having to pay more child support because it's all based on how much you make, right? They have a calculation. And this is one of the only things that's really black and white. They don't care about inflation, cost of living, how what your bills look like. They don't care. They plug how much you make into this calculation, and then bam, that's how much you make. And a lot of it has to do with how much time you see your child. And if you don't have 50-50, if you have a lot less like myself, then your payment is going to be pretty high. I remember I was making $12 an hour as a barista, and my payment was over $500 a month. So, and it's as I made more money, it increased. So that is that's what's going to happen with this gentleman, right? He's going to be taken back to court because she's found out he's made more money, and then boom, his payment is going to increase.
So what he did in the next year was got a second job and try to pick up as much overtime as he could with his career. He ended up working 80 plus hours a week. And I'm not exaggerating, 80 plus hours a week. Next year rolls around, maybe it's a little over a year, something like that. His ex finds out. They go back to court because now she wants more money. And the judge, without hesitation, said, absolutely, bro. You're making way too much money. Mm-hmm. You need to pay more. And now his payments like doubled. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's when you try to get ahead, they move the goalposts. That's just what happens, right? And if you've got a vindictive ex and she finds out that you are making more money, yeah, she's going to take you back to court. She's going to present this as a change in circumstance, and the judge is going to give her a pass on that. Yeah, he's making more money, so let's recalculate. Let's plug the new. And now you have to show proof. You have to show your proof of income, show how much you make. Oh, okay. Wow, it's so much more than before. So yeah, we're gonna double it now, right? Instead of $750, now it's gonna be $1,525 or something. So that's how it goes, man. Title 4D. It's a business, okay? It is a business. They get federal kickbacks for every dollar that you pay towards child support. Okay, so they have every incentive to put you on child support. Also, every incentive, in my opinion, to lessen your time with your child, because the more time you spend with your child, the less you pay into child support. So a lot of men like myself are capped at a certain amount, and of child, you have to have a change in circumstance, right? And their definition of a change in circumstance is not necessarily your version or necessarily your definition of change in circumstance. So it's really hard to get more time with your child, especially, I believe, with that incentive. I think that that incentive is what drives them to keep you bottlenecked or to keep you limited as far as your parenting time.
Now his payments are like laughably ridiculous that he's paying to this woman every month for his child.
Yeah.
So then he goes, okay, now I screwed myself. I'm quitting the second job. I got to make as little money as possible, I guess. And the next year he makes a lot less. And then he tries to get the payments reduced. Not a chance. They said, not a chance we're reducing your payments.
Yeah, now they're gonna question why he quit that job, and he won't look very good to the judge because he's making more money, and now he's quitting that job thinking that it's going to help him, but it actually hurts him more. So, but he still has the same payment now, and now he makes less money. So
you need to keep working like you were and paying these crazy payments that you're paying to this woman. And this is happening all the time. This is happening all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And I know you guys are going to say a man should pay child support when he has a kid. Fair enough. I gotcha. But is it also fair to say that a lot of guys are paying way more than they should be? And is it also fair to say we got a lot of women out here who are getting tons of assistance from the state, yet they're still getting massive money from these?
A lot of women are bankrolling. They don't even need this money. I don't believe a woman should, for her to be able to qualify for child support, the man should. I mean, that's the thing, is a lot of men are already, they're present, they're contributing, and still they have to pay child support. I still have to pay child support. I don't believe I should have to pay child support because I already provide directly as well on top of having to pay child support. So I think it should be for the mothers where the dad is not even around, is not even trying to be in their life, right? I think it should be a very limited circumstance because a lot of these women are just tipping the valet with their child support check, especially these. That's why a lot of these women, they baby trap these celebrities, these athletes, celebrity athletes, right? In the NBA and the NFL, because they bankroll, they make. They're shelling out. These guys are shelling out like 25K a month in child support because they make tens of millions of dollars, and it's laughable that is how it's calculated. It's just based off of how much you make, but it's not based off of how much it actually costs to raise a child, which is insane. It's insane. It's indentured servitude. It's a debtor's prison essentially. If you get far enough behind. But if you get far enough behind, they will schedule what's called a show cause hearing, where you have to show cause for why you're behind on your child support or you're not paying. And if the judge finds you in contempt, then you can go to jail. There are a number of different things that can happen to you, but it's not great for men out there. So it's very dangerous to have a child in this climate. It's very dangerous. You have to be very selective, very picky. Very careful. You have to be very risk adverse. And women now they're so pissed off at men for various reasons. They're like, why aren't men approaching us? Why aren't they asking us out? Why aren't they proposing? Why aren't they doing all these things? This is one of the reasons why. This is not an incentive to have a kid with a woman. It's an incentive to not have a kid with a woman. And then you're seeing this reflect in the replacement rates or in the birth rates. They're below replacement level. Right now we are screwed as a species, as a society.
These men. In fact, the girl in the story that I just told, she made good money herself.
There you go.
So she ends up buying a really nice house thanks to the thousands and thousands a month that she's getting from my friend.
Exactly. Like I just said, these women, they're already making their own money. They're already doing really well. They are not struggling to pay their bills. But this man is struggling to pay his bills to satisfy this so that he doesn't go to jail, basically. It's basically pay this so you don't get arrested and go to jail and lose time with your kid and lose your freedom. That's pretty much what child support is. And like I said, they get federal kickbacks, they get benefits from the federal government. So it is a business. It's a business at the end of the day. If you go to the judge and you're like, but judge, I've got this payment, I got this, I'm drowning here. He does not care. He does not care. He has no sympathy for your situation. This is the number. They plug in the calculation. That's what you make. But yeah, these women, they don't even have to show what the money's going towards. They don't have to prove that they are using the money for the child. They do not. They can spend it on whatever they want. They can save it up. They can splurge. They can go on shopping sprees. Then that's what a lot of women are doing. Okay, they are just going out with their friends with that money. They're spending that money on themselves. They're not spending it on school supplies or clothing for the child or food or medical care. No, they are not. And it's sick.
Plus her income. Plus, for whatever reason, somehow, she's still getting tons of assistance. This girl made great money herself, but she got tons of food stamps still.
Oh, yeah. And if they're married, right? If they're married, a lot of them are married. And yet they still get assistance because their spouse's income, it doesn't count towards that. So even if they marry a millionaire who pays for everything, right? They're on easy mode just because of him. Does not matter. Well, that would go for an NBA player that's paying $20,000 a month in child support. Even if that woman gets married to another NBA player and he's paying her way, he still has to pay that $20K a month. Still, it's insane that's even a thing.
Probably got other assistants as well. So she was living large. I watched this girl live it up. I mean, she has probably, I can think of 2 really expensive trucks. They have a really nice couple luxury cars. I mean, living it up. And that's not the only one. I know a girl that grew up in the slums, and she came from a broken family. She's never had a job, and she ended up collecting massive child support as well and getting tons of assistance. So she's been living rent-free and collecting thousands a month in child support. Now she bought a house. She ended up buying a home. Probably got on one of these like assistance programs or leg up programs to buy a home while collecting thousands a month.
Yeah, there are so many programs for women, right? For single moms. Not for men. That men do not get any assistance or help whatsoever, right? You have to start a YouTube channel like me and be able to, you could start a GoFundMe and get some help from them. That's one thing that you can do. That's one thing, but that's the thing. Like, most men don't have that ability, so you're just kind of screwed.
In child support, where the guy doesn't even get to see the kids, even though he's a good guy.
Yeah,
this is happening every day.
Oh yeah.
And again, like I always talk about, the only thing people want to say is, as a man, it's your fault. Man up, work harder, like my friend did. Work harder. But nobody wants to point out the fact that a lot of these women are not spending the money on the children. Let's be real. In fact, a lot of the kids are going quite neglected in their everyday life, while the women use that money to get their hair done, their nails done, eyelashes, and everything else. But nobody wants to call that out. Men are getting just put through the ringer in everyday life, and nobody wants to call it out. That's another big reason why there's such a shortage of men getting down on one knee and proposing. It's because it literally is a business to women if they want it to be.
Yeah.
Divorce and popping out kids can be a business model.
Mm-hmm. It is.
If a woman wants to, she can make a pretty good living off of that. Or a pretty good side income at the very least if she has a job. Nice little side hustle. And everybody likes to make this argument of, well, I mean, it's expensive to raise kids. Yeah, I get it. But a lot of these women are getting massive assistance already. The 2 women that I just talked about were getting more than enough assistance from the state.
Yeah.
More than enough. The money they were receiving is just spending money they're putting in their own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So don't give me that. Don't give me that. That's not true. Most of these women are getting enough assistance to where they don't really need that money. The money just goes in their pocket.
Yeah.
And in both these,
It's an expendable income for them. They don't need it. But the dad, he sure as heck couldn't. He sure as heck needs it. He needs it, and he's hemorrhaging it to her, who does not need it. So it hinders his ability to take care of his child because of that. And she enables that because she wants the money. She doesn't want the child to succeed and have the kid have the dad be at his peak. He's stressing out over money. You have a father stressing out over money whose mental health is declining because he barely gets to see the kids, still has to shell out tons of money, and is struggling in his everyday life with his bills. Meanwhile, she's just living on easy mode, collecting that paycheck, already has a bunch of money, has 2 trucks, right? It's insane. I mean, and he's living in a shanty, right? In a decently, slightly sketchy part of town, right?
both of these examples I just gave, the guys were still spending their money outside of the child support to pay for the life of the child. So the child support was just cherry on top. These guys were still paying for clothes out of their pocket aside from the child support.
Yeah, if anything, it's cherry on top for vindictive mothers. It's that extra twist of the dagger to collect that guy's money, right? That's what it is to them.
They were still paying for school activities and school supplies and money for this and money for that. So the child support was literally just spending money for the women.
Yeah.
And the court system does not want to hear a man's side of the story at all. They don't want to hear the struggles that men have at all. They don't want to hear anything from a man's perspective at all.
Yeah.
And I get it.
It's bad for their bottom line.
It is what it is. But don't you think we should start having some conversations around that? Not to mention a lot of guys, the second story I just kind of briefly told, that guy doesn't even get to see the kids. He doesn't even see the kids. Unjustly, by the way. Good guy, but the girl ran off, took the children. The guy doesn't know where they are. And the police and the court system doesn't care. They don't want to do anything about it.
Sounds about right.
So guys are just getting put through the ringer. And the only answer is get to work and work harder. Work harder. Pay more.
Yeah, I mean, try waking up every day in that situation to work harder. You can't even see your kids. You don't even know where they are. That's the life that so many men are living. That's why I created my channel in the first place, was to help men like that are going through that, to keep men from going through that. If you are not in that situation, don't put yourself in that situation, okay? Don't do it. It's hell dealing with the family court system. When you were in the family court system, it's an 18-year sentence, dude. It's an 18-year sentence. It's what it is. Don't do it. And if you're already there, then yeah, I understand what you're going through. I have a book that I wrote about that, about what that's like, and the process of individuation and transformation, right, into a better version of yourself, but embracing that suffering, right? I talk to men every single day and help them with what they're going through, right? Whether that's parental alienation, high conflict co-parenting, whatever the case may be. I'm able to help a lot of guys out, but I've heard some rough stories, really rough stories, rougher than my story. So, but yeah, those links are all down below if you're interested in that. But yeah, let's get back into what Dapper Dev's talking about here.
I want to take a second to thank you guys. I know it's cliche. I say that in a lot of videos, but seriously, to all the fathers out there who are not getting the respect that they deserve, to all the fathers out there in which the mothers are working diligently to convince your children that you're a bad guy, because that's another one. I can make a separate video about that altogether. How a lot of these women are working so hard to convince their children that the father's no good when he is a good man. All the women that are brainwashing these children with leftist propaganda that doesn't like men.
Mm-hmm.
It's sick. And it's everywhere. And nobody wants to do anything about it because now we have a justice system that's been taken over by the leftist garbage.
Yeah.
All
Leftism is the status quo now. What everything that he's describing is the status quo. And it's destroying our society. It's destroying men. This gynofascism, this gynocentric society that we live in. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's gynofascism. That is a term for it. And we're at 250 years as a society, or as a country, and we're in that decline. And then whenever empires start to decline, that's like when women take over. That's when empires start to decline, right? That's what it means when masculine republics give way to feminine democracies, and feminine democracies give way to tyranny. We are seeing tyranny and the decline and the controlled demolition of the American empire. And if you think about it, feminism, of course, yes, has a lot to do with it. So a lot of people argue that feminism was this grassroots movement that started from the ground up. But no, it was top down. It was the Declaration of Sentiments, which was a feminist document, which outlines patriarchy theory. It wasn't second wave. It was in 1848 was when that was written. The Declaration of Sentiments came out in 1848. Guess what other document, what other book came out in 1848? The Communist Manifesto. Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto, with one of the tenets being to abolish the family. That is what it's all about. It's what it's always been about. It's not been about equality. Equality is just the veneer to sell it. It's always been about superiority. It's always been about female superiority and the destruction of the family. That's what it's about. It's always about control and power, domination, subjugation.
the women have been propagandized by the woke leftist garbage. The school system obviously has been taken over by the woke leftist propaganda as well. So we have a society now that just does not like men. And might I add, it doesn't like the men who have done all the work to build the luxurious, safe, free society that these people enjoy. It doesn't like the men who still work tirelessly while being underpaid and underappreciated, while they're taxed into oblivion to keep the wheels turning in this society that doesn't appreciate them and actually works diligently to talk bad about them and put them down. Men are just, at this point, we're just tax slaves. We're just cattle. Shut up and get back to work. Shut up and work harder to be taxed into oblivion and to be put down and gaslit into thinking you're not working hard enough or you're not good enough. You're a terrible father. You know how many guys I know that have children that put so much more work into the children's lives than the mothers do? In my life's experience as a 40-year-old man, almost 40, in my life's experience, I can tell you guys straight up, as much as I obviously know a mother is very important, right, in a child's life, obviously, let's be real, there's no denying that. But in the last 100 years or so, the propaganda machine has really worked hard at trying to minimize the importance of a father. It has really worked hard to try to almost demonize a father's role in a child's life.
Yeah, it's been going on for decades. Right? When we were watching television and movies, mostly television, we saw the Homer Simpson and Tim Allen, right? Tim the Toolman Taylor, all these, they're portrayed as bumbling idiots that it's just, they're so lucky to even be married to this incredible woman that's always putting them down and being condescending to them. It's just insane that what our society has come to, right? And it's always a death of 1,000 cuts. It's just incrementally gotten worse and more brazen.
I'm not going to, actually, let's remove the word almost. They straight up have. The social programming, the propaganda machine with pop culture, and just the social programming from everywhere for that matter, it has worked diligently to try to demonize the role a man plays in a child's life. And all the broken homes now that are the norm in our society, all the broken homes now where the fathers are, for whatever reason, not in the picture. In some cases, the guys are dirtbags and they're not stepping up to the plate. Let's be real. In fact, in a lot of cases, that is the case. But also, I will say, in a lot of situations, there's good men who are being unfairly pushed out of the picture and unfairly kept out of the child's life, while they're still paying, quite frankly, more than what's fair, in my opinion.
Yeah.
While the women don't even spend that money on the children. And those guys don't even have a voice. Those guys are still seen as a bad guy to most people. And even worse than that, a lot of those guys are seen as the bad guy to their children. When in many cases, those fathers love those kids more than the mothers do. Straight up, I'll say that. I know that's going to get me some heat. I don't care. I'll say that straight up. In my life's experience, most of the time, the fathers love the children more than the mothers do. Straight up. And the behavior proves it.
Yep.
It's a sick world. And I make this video on Father's Day, or it's going to air on Father's Day anyway. And I want to say happy Father's Day to you guys. Even though society works so hard to demonize fathers now, society works so hard, or the social programming that's the overlord of society, it works so hard to try to demonize you guys and break you guys.
Yeah.
And try to minimize the role you play in your children's lives. And it tries to make you look like a bad guy in the eyes of your children, which is sick. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for going to work every day. And I want to tell you guys not to give up. I know it means nothing for me when you got a whole world of weight on your shoulders. But at the very least, I want to let you guys know that I hear your stories. I see you guys, man. And I feel for you. And I'm praying for you guys. And I hope to God these conversations continue to become more mainstream. And I hope to God we can wake up more men so they don't put themselves in the situation that my friend did. When he didn't understand how child support works. He didn't understand how divorce courts work. And he thought that the only answer, since I'm paying so much in child support and I can't even afford to live now, the only answer is to work harder. I'm going to work 80 plus hours a week. And the judge said, oh, you are? Boom, you need to pay more. You need to pay more. The judge didn't care that he couldn't afford his rent anymore.
Told you.
The judge didn't care at all. The judge said, good for you. You're a man.
Got men living in their cars, right? But then they have to live in their cars just to afford to live because of the child support. But at the same time, if the court finds out that that's where they live, then that hurts their parenting time and their ability to see their child. Do you see how this works? Pushes the dad out. It bankrupts him. It breaks him in so many different ways, in so many different arenas. It breaks him.
Man, step up to the plate.
This is why men are self-deleting. This is why a lot of men are self-deleting in these situations. Because it's one thing after another. It's a multi-pronged attack.
Which was a male judge, by the way, too, might I add.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
And my friend worked twice as hard and ended up hurting himself more. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's enough. Happy Father's Day. Keep your heads up. Like the video if you did like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed, make sure that you're still subscribed. I
appreciate Dapper Dev. I like this video. This is a great video by him. He puts out good stuff, so go check him out. I'm going to leave him down the link to this video down below, so go check it out, or go check him out. His other stuff's great. But yeah, don't let society break you, all right? Don't become one of these men if you can help it, right? So that's my goal, is to keep men safe, right, from that happening to them, because it's a hell of a road. It's a hell of a road, dude, to go down. But I'll leave it there. If you resonate with anything that I said, if you like my content, you want to support me, go follow me down on Kick. I live stream on Kick pretty frequently, multiple times a week. I'm starting to do that. I continually put out videos, 4 videos a week, right? Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And also go join my Discord down below. It's just packed full of men that are in these situations, that have been through the ringer. So if you want to connect with other men that are like-minded and have been through some shit, then go ahead and join that as well. But I thank each and every one of you for supporting me, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.